Everybody's lucky we're even here, considering what we just went through. To
Oh
be
my God.
honest,
Reggie is the superhero of Riverside.
Yes.
y'all. So I joined the studio, and there's a feature on here where you can share your screen. And I wanted to share something funny that was streaming on another website. And so I shared the content, and we were all laughing. And I go to close it out, but instead of closing the page, I actually closed the studio where we record. And then I try to immediately join back in, and it just tells me there's a 404 error, like it doesn't exist, right? And so I'm like telling them, like, hey, I'm going to reset my PC. And so that takes forever. Then I finally, get the PC back going, try to log in again. It's just nothing. And then subsequently, everyone kind of gets booted out of the studio. So yeah, 45 minutes later, and like a chat function via the service that we use for our studio, we finally got it recovered. It was flat out deleted. So thank you, Reggie. We appreciate
Reggie,
you.
you are the bomb. You are the bomb.
Yeah, man.
Reggie is the whole reason we can now do what? Record a podcast.
Is that what we do here?
Who's
Let's
ready
do
to
it.
go?
Me.
3, 2, 1.
Get ready for unfiltered banter, laughs, and a barrel of fun. This is Monkeys Unfiltered.
Welcome to this episode of Monkeys Unfiltered. Perhaps you have heard tale that deep in the heart of the jungle, I, Mama Monkey, and 2 of my 3 little monkeys, although not so little anymore, come together each week and we share laughs, tell stories, and spend some quality time together. Our playful banter and wild tales are always made to entertain you, and hopefully we've brought a smile to your face once or twice. But if you've been following along, you've likely heard the whispers that there is another member of this lively troupe, Wayward Monkey, the eldest monkey, the monkey who is known to march to his own beat. This exclusive monkey has a knack for slipping away, but today we've managed to pin him down long enough to have him join us on this very special episode. So get ready to welcome the one, the only, Matthew Monkey, as he swings into the show with the rest of the troupe for a jungle-filled session of fun and laughter. Yay!
Editor's note: as mentioned, Matthew Monkey is sometimes hard to pin down. He phoned in this interview, so please know that his audio is not studio quality.
He was shrouded in darkness for a minute.
Yeah.
Welcome,
right.
big homie.
What's up, buddy?
Hello. So off the top, I want to know what you guys think. Trump or Harris? No, just kidding. Totally kidding.
Wow.
Sorry, that joke's played out. We did that a couple weeks ago.
Ah, man, I thought I was innovating.
Certainly try it. You got to listen to the show.
Right.
I mean,
we tried a little hysterics before the show and really messed up our universe. So,
yeah.
Oh, dude, it's incredible that we can even talk anymore. Like, so we were kind of bantering there for a while, and then all the shenanigans, and now we're just I don't even know what real life is
oh my
anymore.
God, it was insane. I literally was going to puke because we had some unedited content in the studio, and I was like, "What? No!" Because there's some good shows coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that AI thing was funny until it crashed.
Yeah,
the ship.
dude.
It was hilarious.
As we like to say, it was funny until it wasn't.
It's all shits and giggles to somebody giggles and shits.
Ah.
I just hope Reggie is the vigilante of his hometown because he deserves to be Batman.
I told
Reggie's the boss.
Our entire team is in love with him, and he was flattered.
We got a lot of monkey love coming his way.
That's an interesting statement.
Monkey love.
That is a weird one. It sounded weird. I don't even know why it's weird, but it does sound weird.
Monkey love.
Yeah. It was I don't even know why that's weird, but it's weird.
Sounds a little, yeah, we won't go there. What you been up to, Wayward Monkey? Where you been? What you been doing? What's going on? I mean, it's only taken us, almost 40 episodes to get you on here.
Over half. The
What am I? Am I magic number 40?
I'm not sure.
year. I think it's like 37, 38, somewhere in there.
37. Hell yeah, 37. I'm gonna get it on a football jersey.
Okay, so we actually have a pass here because generally when podcasts get put out, they know what the episode is. Like it's usually in the title or they reference it during the recording. But those are professional podcasters. We are not that because no one pays us to do this.
Where's
Right.
my money?
If anyone would
Well,
like to
here's the thing.
donate to make us professional podcasts, we wouldn't say no.
Right. But here's the thing.
Well, where can they do that?
But here's the thing. I'm so ridiculously organized. He will be episode 37.
Well, there you go.
That's what I
There
said.
you go.
I'm
Right.
on my
Did
sheet.
you?
Lucky number
Yes.
30.
Okay. Well, I keep a spreadsheet. That's the
Well-
only way I know.
Shut up.
Hey, that's how I do it.
No, Hayden's
Hey,
good
you know.
at wild guessing.
How much do you guys want to know about my weekend? Because it was off the chain.
I don't know, man. You get into
PG-13.
some interesting stuff. So why don't you,
Yeah.
dial it back just a tad, if
wanna-
you would.
I want to know a PG-13 amount.
Well, you asked what I've been up to. That's what I've been up to. Yeah, no, I was vending also, so there's another aspect of my weekend
So
as
I was
well.
going to say we could take it down the pathway of our interview guide, and why don't you tell our listeners how it is you make your living?
So, I guess it's been December will make 14 years that I've been doing the Second Skin Jacks thing, and I make leather accessories. Some toys mostly for the club so that, you look cute.
Right.
Like, that's the kind of stuff I like to make. Art and fashion and, like some of the pieces are very, what would you say, like, mass production. Like, I've probably sold 700 or 800 of the same
Because they're
item.
really popular.
But, right. The other half of the business is what I like to refer to as wearable art, because they're strange pieces that are one of a kind and never make the same one again. And sometimes I make them with herbal enhancements, and sometimes I even I'll collect stormwater from hurricanes and stuff and use that in the dye process. And so it's a cool artistic outlet too. And then whenever I do sell those, I enjoy that people get to have a cool piece of art from somewhere. Like, how many trips have you gone on where, like, you don't remember where you even were, except for you remember you were at this market because there was this vendor and you bought this thing.
Right. Right.
And I like thinking that I get to be that story for some people. Now, the other half of the business is the one that they're so afraid of talking
Well,
about.
real
Nobody's
quick,
afraid. You
real
just
quick, when you say you make with herbal enhancements, like, let's just use your imagination, you know what that means, but also realize that you wouldn't have, like, the iPhone, you wouldn't have went to space, like,
Yeah.
you wouldn't have gotten some of the greatest hits of all time musically. I mean, honestly, creativity can sometimes come from a place that, like, is a little supernatural, you would say, right? You get a little
I like it.
Yeah, it
psychedelic
does.
inspiration kind of deal.
It does sometimes feel like the ideas are coming from somewhere else, and the enhancement is like the mechanism or the tool that I use to grab it and pull it down into my brain where I can execute the idea. I find that for the more artistic pieces, a small amount of fungal enhancement is perfect. I come up with stuff I never would have come up with on my own. It really does feel like I'm working hand in hand with the muse, like she's come to me and offered me this. Maybe it's not even an idea, maybe it's a technique or something that I haven't tried before, and I suddenly feel like trying it, and it turns out awesome.
I just like that you called it fungal enhancements. I mean, that sounds
Generally, fungal enhancements are a negative thing.
right.
Yeah.
Nobody.
They wouldn't be referred to as enhancements, would they?
Well, when you think of fungus, it's not usually anything good, right?
Among Us.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Psilocybin's a good
I
one.
think you need to be on Joe Rogan, not this podcast.
Right. I think
Right,
you
yeah,
took a wrong
but,
turn.
There's Well, there are a lot of other really useful mushrooms that don't have any psychedelic effect, but maybe they provide something else. There's some like turkey tail is good for your heart. Lion's mane is good for cognitive function, which my old job was that I was a professional wrestler, so I got hit in the head a
So that's why
bunch of
you sound
times.
like that. Got
And exactly, yeah. So sometimes herbal enhancement, speaking of Joe Rogan, means I take a couple alpha brains in the
Oh
morning,
my
and that helps
gosh.
clear out the
Okay.
or
cobwebs
some
and
horse
everything.
dewormer, quote unquote.
Yeah.
So that's lion mane mushroom in those.
Okay, hold on a minute. Let's rope this back in. This is
Choo-choo,
a
going
little
off the
bit.
rails.
Yeah, this is a
What,
little bit of
what
a
do you want to
family
talk
show.
about?
Hold on, it's a little bit of a family show. And
We could talk about the other half of the business.
so it's a little bit of a family show. What we sometimes do is talk about our family life together. And in some of our earlier
Yeah.
episodes, we've relived some memories, travel experiences, things from childhood, etc. So why don't you tell us okay, this is a question I want to know. Tell me what your favorite childhood memory is that you think I don't know.
Ooh. Well, you regularly drilled it into my head growing up that you knew
Right?
everything, and not only you, but that all moms around the world know everything. So I thought you knew everything until just now.
Yeah, this minute.
You mean you don't ever think that you don't think that there was ever a moment that you did something that you think I don't know about and you got away with it? You're like, man, that was awesome. And she doesn't even know.
Looking back, yeah, for sure there were some that you don't know, but you just asked me to tone it down on the show. So
Well, okay, I can think of one that's a little bit more, applicable here. Is you remember, Matthew, when we got into a little bit of a scuffle? We lived in the Clare Lane apartment, and we broke the cowboy, the little statue of a
Oh,
cowboy, right?
oh, the
And so we
cowboy.
just kind of
I
set it right
remember
back. It
this.
was the foot that had come off. We just kind of set it right back so it would just look just right. And I swear to God, I think it was
Yeah.
in like 10 minutes. She walked in. She's like, "What's wrong with my cowboy? What has happened?" Right? And then we're all just
Yeah,
like,
because
"Huh? What are you? Huh?"
Yeah, what are you talking
you
about?
two
I
nut
don't know. It looked
jobs.
great. Great to me.
Yeah. Yeah. You.
Yeah, and I remember how sentimental the cowboy was to you and how like broken inside I was over it. I'm like, damn, I
Yeah.
did a bad thing, and now I gotta pretend like I didn't do a bad thing. And if I get caught having done a bad thing, I
Yep.
blame it on
Yep.
him. I gotta do
That's
all of that. This
pretty
is
That's
typical
the
terrible.
experience.
natural. I feel like that's the natural big brother thing, right?
Totally.
Oh yeah, it's I outrank them. Yeah, and I bold rank all the time.
Oh, man.
I'm older. I'm in charge. You listen to me. I never got to
You know
say
what
that.
though? I will say now that two of us are like fairly deep into adulthood, and
Fairly deep.
you've been in a couple.
Fairly deep.
Well, yeah, we're over a decade in now, and he's not too far behind, so he'll catch up. But
I'm still a child. I don't know what you're talking about.
oh yeah, no, we're childish as shit. No, what I'm getting at is like, I took too long to get to it, and it's slipping away, you guys. That
That's all
happens
that
to me a
That
lot.
fungal. That's
happens to
all
me
that
That's why
fungal
I need.
enhancement.
That's why I need the alpha brain. That's why I need the alpha
What's
brain.
your
And you know what's good? You know what's good? Not an ad for Sigmatic coffee. It's made with lion's mane mushroom, and I feel like that's very helpful
I've
for
actually
my
been seeing
brain
a lot of
too.
ads for that come up, like on Facebook and stuff. Like, because
Yeah.
I'm a huge coffee drinker. I actually just came off a 21 day fast where I only drink water. Like, I ate food like normal, but the
Ooh.
only liquid I drank was water. And ironically, during that time, all I saw, all I heard about, every like discount code that came through on my phone, all of it was coffee related. And I was like,
Oh, of course, because they knew you were like,
Jones.
Yeah.
yeah.
They're like, oh, we can get him right now.
So
Hey, Hayden, what are you doing over there?
I wanted to ask a question early on, but there's so much going on, I couldn't fit it in.
Got to get in where you
I
fit
even
in. You
raised
know
my-
how
You
it
don't-
works
I
around
even-
here.
I even raised my hand and everybody ignored me, but I wanted to go back.
Oh, we
That's fun.
did.
I'm
All right,
sorry.
everybody, shut up.
I wanted to go back. I wanted to go back to what he was talking about at the beginning about like how he makes one of a kind pieces, like where he'd like
Yeah.
gather the hurricane water. What's your favorite piece? that you've made.
I'm sorry, I thought you were going to say, what's your favorite
Yeah.
hurricane water?
What was your favorite hurricane? The one where I didn't have to go
Oh,
to school
no.
for a month.
That one.
What was that? 2004 was that when the power was off for like 6 weeks or
Hey,
something?
ADD, answer the question.
Yeah, I'm going to. What was the
What's your favorite one of a kind piece that you've made?
Oh, God, I mean, they're all kind of my babies. It's hard to say like I love one child more than the others, but I definitely
Mom can say that.
yes, you're absolute, and I'm not even disputing the way you're thinking about it. I think you're right. I definitely really resonate with the Concho bracelet design. That's the one I wear. I've got like 8 of them. It was the first one of a kind like idea that I had where I was like, oh, geez, different every time. And it didn't even start that way. It developed that way over time.
So can you describe what that looks like for anyone who doesn't know what that is? Because I think they're pretty cool.
So, yeah, a lot of times, Don has some, doesn't
Yeah,
he?
you gave him a couple.
Yeah. A lot of times when you get a leather bracelet or a band or strap or whatever it is people want to call it, very symmetrical. Obviously it's working with leather. Everything is asymmetrical, but you do your best unless you're using a laser. I like doing it old schooly style with my hands.
Right.
So what that allows me to do, that I'm using my hands and not a laser, it allows me to manipulate the knife in whatever way I see fit. I can cut down a straight line, or I can do this weird squiggly thing. I can, cut a groove in right here. I can, then I've got all my other tools to actually tool the piece of leather. The leather that I mostly use is called veg tan. The tanning process involves it going into a vat of vegetable oils.
Do you pee in a pot by chance?
And do I pee in a pot? Well, I know what you're getting at. I actually buy it already
Nice.
canned, so
Nice.
don't have to do that part. Yeah. I can get straight to the art,
I was going to say, we're about to have a problem because we are recording prior to that episode coming out. So spoiler alert. Or
Spoilers.
reverse spoiler
No, like,
alert or
no, yeah, you
non-spoiler
don't-
alert. Because
No spoiler
never
alert.
mind.
Get wrecked.
No spoiler. Snape kills Dumbledore. Whoops.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
That's an old movie.
Yeah, right.
You gotta get over it. If you haven't watched now, it's your fault.
Wait, okay, ADD, go back to answering the question. Man.
He
I thought I did.
Oh, okay. I felt like maybe I cut you off, so.
Yeah. Finish the description. Basically, I just I get to tool the leather because it's that veg tan. It's thick and it's impressionable. You can stamp things into it. So sometimes I'll use like a leather stamp that's designed for that.
Mhm.
Sometimes it'll be a rock that I just think has like a particularly cool pattern in it.
Right.
Or like I have a piece of like a hunk of iron from a refinery that I use sometimes. Sometimes I'll use tools that weren't meant for that at all. It'll be like a tool that's meant to cut a groove or something, and I'll use it in a totally different way. Kind of like abstract art on leather.
Yeah, you can then.
And I never repeat one. So there will be some that look kind of similar, but there's never going to be the same one. And even if by some weird Freudian thing I was to repeat one exactly, the leather's going to be different. The placement of the tooling is going to be different. The dye will be a little bit different shade than the other one. So they truly are one of a kind. I literally could not make another one.
So I actually had the privilege to observe your creative process while you lived with us for a time.
Yeah, for like a year and a half, right?
When COVID shut everything down. Can we call it that? I mean, will we get canceled? I don't know. Anyway.
I don't know, but when the whole world was grounded.
We're out of the first 5 minutes.
There was this illness, you might have heard of it.
In the before, when everything got shut, everything got shut down, as a gig worker, you really had no options. So you came to stay with us for a while.
Yeah.
And yeah, I got to observe your process, and it was quite eccentric, I could say. But what I will say is, you not having like a streamlined process, big business essentially will just figure out how to make so many things so fast that, like, it's just kind of, who even cares at this point? It's just
Cheap.
it's just because there's a name
Yeah.
on it, but the manufactured streamlined process is kind of boring. But the fact that you hand make everything and they're all unique, there's not just I have this one stencil and, like, that's what you get. The fact that you put unique touches on it is not only awesome, but it's bold to think that, like, I'm gonna just do something that I'm inspired by and hopefully someone likes it, instead of going with the, like, I know people will buy this thing, so that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, well, it's like a half and half situation because everything's by hand. I don't use the laser. I know I could crank out way more if I did. I just don't want to. I like the idea of doing new things in a very old way.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
know, uh, leatherworking is a really, really old profession. Um, but I like that I'm able to put new ideas onto a very old profession like that. But there is a degree of, I know that, like, I have some pieces that I think are incredible. They blow my mind. I can't believe I made that. It's those moments where I do feel like the muse came in and guided my hand. That didn't come out of my head. I don't know how I did that. And they sit there forever. They don't resonate with anybody. And it'll be a regular occurrence that this thing that I've done the same way 1,500 times, that's the one that's flying tonight. And so, because I do a lot of live events, I'm in the clubs and at festivals and things. So it's whatever the captive audience is interested in. That's what I move. I'm trying to pay the bills, so ship it out, and then I have to make more of that because now I have to replace it. Meanwhile, the nice art piece is still sitting over there just chilling. But where I get around that, I think, is that every night that I set up that table and all those pieces, I get to enjoy that art again. It's still sitting there. I can still see it, and I'm still like, wow, look at that. That's cool. I get to do it every single time. So even if I have a piece that doesn't move for a long time, I still feel really good about it sitting there because everybody in the room gets to go, look at that cool art over there.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
cool that you make stuff.
I wish
Yeah,
I
me
had
too.
any talent. I don't.
Right, like I just don't have the creativity to do that.
That's
I don't
not
think.
true.
Dude, when we were kids, man, I tried everything. I wanted to sing, I wanted to play guitar, I wanted to draw, I wanted to paint, and I was not good at
You
any of
wanted
it.
to sell light
You
bulbs
know,
with a trash bag on your head.
I did,
Yeah.
and packs of gum.
I remember.
Yeah, neither of which we were in
Yeah.
possession of.
Yeah, we used to
Uh,
troll around the neighborhood with trash bags on for some reason. Like black trash bags, not white.
yeah.
Like let's
Now,
not have
yeah,
the pointy
yeah.
white imagery going on.
That's,
It was black trash bags, okay?
yeah, let's definitely be
Right.
clear about that.
So wait a minute.
Okay.
You didn't know about that, did you?
No, wait, hold on. He said troll around the neighborhood. And I had a flashback. And Hayden, unfortunately for you,
Oh
you were
God, I know what's coming.
rockabye baby and just won't remember this, although you rode round and 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 around the neighborhood in your car seat.
You know what's coming too, don't you, Jason?
Yeah. Well, why don't y'all tell on yourself? What did y'all do
Okay, so there was this one time, right?
at band camp?
And Jason and I were hanging out outside. Now you told me to tone it down. Don't you tone it back up.
Focus.
Focus.
We were hanging out outside. We must have been like 8 and 12 or something like that.
Because I was freaked
I'll be
out.
honest, I don't know what we're talking about.
We were.
I think I know.
Mhm.
Oh, you'll remember as the story plays out.
Hayden, you know?
I think so.
We lived in a neighborhood called San Marco, and San Marco was next to the downtown area of our
Very
town.
walkable neighborhood.
So, yeah. So, I knew that we weren't supposed to go past the railroad tracks. But I also knew that that wasn't important to me.
You also weren't supposed to feed the hobos that lived at the railroad track, but you did that anyways.
I knew we weren't supposed to go past the railroad tracks, but I also knew that wasn't important to me at the time. So we did. And yeah, of course, the little one follows the big one. I never stopped. I try to be more conscientious now, but I never stopped and looked right at him to know he didn't have shoes or a t-shirt on.
Oh, okay. We're going here. So I thought it was something related to Hayden, but she said he was a baby. Okay, now I'm caught up now. Yeah, this was...
Remember that time I threw the
Welcome to
baby
the
out the
game.
window?
Welcome to the game, Jason.
Surely the statute of limitations has gone by now, right? Like... Okay.
Oh yeah, I think we're good now.
I mean, even
Yeah,
at that,
fine.
we were caught technically. So like,
Well, also like
statute of limitations might
I
have
think we
stopped there.
surrendered. I honestly think we surrendered.
Also, like,
When we get to the end of the story, it'll be clear that we surrendered.
it's not like you did anything super bad, though. You
Okay,
you
sure.
What?
Trespass. I mean,
They were on their way to jail.
Yeah,
They were
true.
on their way to jail when I
I'm
got
saying
there.
legally.
It's not super
Legally.
bad. It was just a felony. Who cares?
Legally, all they did was trespass.
Not that big a deal.
I don't know
The
if
They
it's a
door
were
was
8
felony.
open.
and 12 years old and on their way to jail when I got there.
Yeah,
The door was
no,
wide open. They
we
didn't
didn't.
break
No,
anything, okay?
listen. Here,
Yes,
listen
they
to the
did.
whole story, and I'm not gonna fib or lie or make myself look better. I'm gonna tell the story exactly how it happened as I remember it, as we discussed my bonks on the head earlier.
Can we get the short version?
No, you cannot. You're gonna get a very entertaining, drawn out version of the story.
Well, you only got about 2
All right, I
minutes.
got you. All right, I can do it in 10 minutes. Okay.
Our producer's
Yeah.
a little bit of a bonehead. He'll cut you off.
So I look back at the 8-year-old who has no t-shirt, no shoes on, doesn't register at all. I'm like, let's go. And he's like, okay.
Disagree.
And then I later made the excuse. I know
So you
wait,
took
okay,
off.
yeah.
You said, "I'm
tell
going
this part.
downtown," and like, so what? We had to cross a bridge.
Yeah.
It was probably like 45-minute walk.
The Main Street Bridge.
And so I'm standing at the doorway. I think I had tears in my eyes saying, "Please don't leave. I don't want to be here alone." And you're like, "I don't
Right,
care.
I wasn't even
I'm
taking.
going." And so you
Yeah.
just kept walking, so
I
I
left
could
you
not
at
go
the
change
house.
clothes or anything. I had to run after you.
But what was your plan? Like you were gonna
No,
save me
my plan
from,
was at least I'm not alone.
Right, he didn't want to be by himself.
Oh, you weren't worried about me. You were worried
Yeah, I
about
don't
being
care what happens
alone
to you.
in the house where you
Yeah,
can
no
lock the door.
Hey, Hayden, you want to go get a sandwich?
Uh,
Oh, let's pause the story, Hayden. Ask a question. You've been pushed out of this whole
keep telling the story
conversation.
because I find this story super entertaining.
Okay, so yeah, he ninny babies or whatever, and then he chases me down. I'm thinking he's just gonna go back to the house, but he never does. So we go all through San Marco. We go into they were building a bank. We went in there, messed around. We went through another neighborhood and walked into some under construction houses and goofed off.
well, when we went in the bank too, you pranked me because the construction workers that were in there caught us. But I was kind of around a corner, and you just came running around the corner, going, "Let's go!" And I'm like, "What happened?" And you're like, "He's chasing me with a nail."
Oh my God!
Yeah.
I swear to God, I saw him pick up a nail gun and go. Hey. I was like, I was like, that doesn't look. Why'd you pick the nail gun up before approaching the child? There's no reason to do that, So I was like, let's just go. So I remember climbing up the side, whatever those buildings were that had the lattice on the front. We climbed up the side of that. Eventually, we went over the bridge. It was like 45 minutes to get across the Main Street Bridge in 5 o'clock traffic. Oh, this is a great idea I had. Then we went inside the biggest, most prestigious skyscraper in our city. I might have gotten around for a couple of minutes, if I hadn't had a small child that was half naked with me.
No shoes, no shirt.
Yeah.
And
This is like a fancy
wait, and
office
let's-
building type situation. I'm just walking around dirty and barefoot.
Right, and here's the
Yeah.
thing. Jason had not come into his height at that point in time.
No.
And he had on cargo shorts, but really no legs. So they were more like Capri pants.
And a little pot belly and floppy
Yeah.
ears. That was me.
Yep. I was worried when we were on the bridge that the wind was going to catch your ears and I was going to have to pull you back down.
Oh, hush.
So we got chased out of the office building. Looking back, no one stopped us and like sat us down and was like, "Where are your folks? Where did you come from? Where should you be?" Like, no, they just like, "Get out of here!"
Scram,
So
see?
we did. Yeah, just all the adults in the room were like, "Get those children out of here! Get those unaccompanied children back out into the streets of
Why do I feel like
downtown."
that's a John Mulaney bit?
Yeah.
It sounds
That's
like
exactly
one.
what that sounded like.
You know what? It sounded like one, didn't it? Yeah. God, I hope I didn't subconsciously steal that from him. So we leave there and we decide that the next logical location is what was at the time known as Alltel Stadium, where the Jacksonville Jaguars play. And we got there, and all the fences were locked and everything. And I'd been carrying this stick with me. It was a great stick. It was like
the boys will understand.
Every boy has had.
The boys will understand. It was a great stick. Napoleon Dynamite was pretty good with this stick. It was a good stick. And so I rolled my stick under the fence and went, "Oh, damn, I got to go get my stick." So I climbed the fence, and of course, he's followed me this far, so he goes over the fence.
Your Honor, my stick was on the other side.
He had to get my stick. If you'd been watching, you'd have seen me roll it under there, so I could use that excuse. So then I had my stick, but seal's broken. Let's go inside. So we did. I to this day cannot figure out how we pulled this off. I don't know if the security guy just didn't feel like unlocking doors every time he went places or like what it was. But we got into the hallways, like the football offices portion of the building. We were able to get into the locker room. We worked out on their gym equipment. We got into the coach's office, and there was a playbook in the desk.
Which, in hindsight, we probably missed out on some good money there.
If camera phones had been a thing at the time, dude, we'd have sold so much information to the Indianapolis Colts.
I'm really glad we didn't. We walked around for like what felt like an hour at least.
We were in there for a long time. And at one point, we decided, well, we're in a stadium, let's go out on the field. So we ran out on the field and tackled each other a bunch of times. Then we went up in the stands, and I was like, I'm going to go up on the light. This was another instance that I do remember you being like, don't do that. And I was like, I'm going to do it.
Did it.
And I started going, and you acted like you were going to go too. And I had to be like, no, sit your ass down. No, you're not coming up here.
Well, I didn't want to be alone. We've established this.
Stop it, small, half-naked, turdy goblin child. Sit down. So go up the light, the big spotlight over the field. I go up there.
Yeah, there you go. We'll get there.
The stadium light. I'm not a football guy. I'm doing my best. And it was a great view. And I thought, how cool is this? I'll never get this view again. And since then, I've been in apartments way higher than that. I didn't realize as an adult I would just have access to that view whenever I wanted.
Yeah, but your next view was security guard.
Yeah, so I thought I got to get it in right now. I'm never going to get this view again. I didn't realize later in life I can get that whenever I want. So the security guard comes out on the field, and he's looking up at me. And he's looking at me for a long time.
Surely that's not Spider-Man, right?
Surely.
And so I finally just waved at him, and then he immediately started walking into the tunnel to go up to the hallways. And so I came down, and I was like, Jason, we gotta go. But first I gotta pee. So rather than try to beat this guy to the bathroom, I thought I would just hang it over the edge, and pee to the ground below.
Again, the boys will understand, I think.
There was another man down there, and I don't think I got him directly, but I definitely saw him start to be like, what is touching me? What is this? And brush himself off. Yeah, I think he caught a little mist off it, and then I was like, okay, now we really have to go because I peed on a guy. which are words that I've never repeated until today.
Wow.
It's the first time I've had instance to say that phrase. So we book it down back out to the front. We climb the fence. We're home free. We're headed toward the edge of the parking lot. I have no idea where we're going next. I kind
To
of remember how to
jail.
get home.
That's where we're going.
And I'm
Yeah, because it's now dark, like almost 9 p.m.
yeah. And at this point in the night, I still think this is fine. I'll show back up at the house. I'll have this thing over here with me. This like dirty goblin that they're going to be like, how did he get into that condition? And I'll say, I don't know, it's his fault. No,
I found him like that. What do you want?
Look, you should be happy I found him. He was all the way downtown.
Right. He was in the stadium. I had to save him.
I had to go get him.
Yeah.
So I have no plan. I'm like, I guess we'll start walking back to the house. I'm pretty sure I know how to get there. Because I do this thing called walkabout, and that's what we did that day. I just picked a direction and went. No map, nothing. We'll figure it out. I still do that to this day. But we were all the way to the edge of the parking lot, and we see this guy rolling up on a golf cart. And I hadn't learned how to run from the cops yet. So
yeah, you know them golf cart police.
So I stop and wait on this guy to approach because I think he's got something to say to us. Well, he did have something to say to us.
Definitely had something to say to you.
Yeah. So he was like, "Hey, where are you supposed to be right now?" And I was like,
You
"We were going
pissed
home."
on me.
He was right. Yeah. He was like, "Where is home?" And I was like, "San Marco." And he was like, "You're not supposed to be here." And I was like, "Probably not, but we're going to go now." And he was like, "Get in the golf cart." And again, I hadn't learned how to run from the cops yet. I guarantee you, if we made it to the edge of the parking lot, he'd have gave up. You know what I mean? He'd have just been like, "Well, they're gone."
Great. The guy in the golf cart's going to give us a ride home.
Yeah. I thought, oh, he's going to be helpful. Cool. So I jump in the golf cart, and he takes us inside, takes us to the office. And he's like, what you've done is very serious and all that. And I was like, this is not the direction that my house is in. We need to go the other way. I don't know if I thought he was going to drive us over the bridge. I'm 12. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if I thought he was going to drive us over the bridge. I don't know what I was expecting. Maybe I was even 11. But he took us inside, and they're doing the whole, like, we're going to call your parents. And, like, I don't know. I've been detained. I don't know what to do here. I'm in the clutches of the Gestapo, and I have one way out.
We're
I
gonna
give
call
him
your
the
parents.
number.
Good. I'm ready to get the hell out of here anyway.
Right. I need a ride home.
I was trying to leave.
Yeah, I was on my way. No, I'm either gonna leave because my mom comes and gets me, or I'm gonna leave because the cops come and get me. And then, who knows where that goes. So I was like, all right, here's the number. And when I tell you guys that Mama Monkey lost her entire shit.
So wait, before we get to that, Mom, do you want to tell us what you were doing this whole time we were going walkabout?
Oh, sure.
Yes, let's get your perspective.
Oh, sure. Would love to share my
Preface
side of
that
this story.
hours have passed.
Yeah.
Hours. Because this was back when I had my hair salon, and I had been at work, and Hayden was just little bitty
to feed us.
Right. Hayden was just little bitty baby, and he had been at work with me because, like, all the girls,
Wait.
yeah, Hayden, he's so cute. Oh, I know.
That's a
Hayden.
great point.
Oh.
I don't want the Jaguars to come after us and anything because I hold season tickets. I was
Yeah.
an infant
Sudden.
and had nothing to
Right.
do with
Statute of limitation. It was
Yeah.
the 90s.
Yeah. Hayden was only like 3 or 4 months old, and so he used to go to work with me at the time, and the girls at the front desk would entertain him and take care of him, and all the clients, they'd ooh and all, so cute. Okay. But we left work early that day. So I had left work that day. We tool home. It takes about 15 minutes, and our house backed right up to the school. So you guys probably were home 30 or 45 minutes, like, by yourselves. I roll up. We come in. I park. I get Hayden out. We come in the back door, and, like, there's nobody there. I'm like, where are the boys? And so I go all the way through the house and out the front door. I'm looking up and down the street because at the time Matthew was like really big into skateboarding, and I'm like, what's going on? Our
Never even learned to ollie.
Our neighborhood was like really walkable, and there was a Panera up on the corner. So, we walked up there. Are you guys at the Paneras? No. And I'm just like, okay, now like 30 minutes has gone by and I can't find you guys anywhere. And I'm like, there's a problem. So put Hayden back in the car. We start riding around the neighborhood, all the places. There's a little park, down to the library, all the places that I think you guys can be, and you're nowhere. This was back when everyone still had home phones, and you had something on your home phone called call waiting. And then you could do voicemail on the phone. And so like if you picked the phone up and it was just like a dial tone, you were good to go. But if you picked it up and it went beep, 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 then you knew you had a message. I said, let's go back to see if they're at the house. I'm talking to Hayden like he's going to answer me, right? Still not at the house. I pick up the phone.
Goo goo gaga, mother.
Right? Pick up the phone to see like if you've called, if there's a message. No. This goes on for like an hour and a half. And now I've called your dad, Hayden. I've called my mom, and now I'm calling the cops, right? Because someone has snatched my kids, and oh my, I'm losing it. I am losing it. It's gotten dark. Hayden, your dad, John, has come home. He's riding around in his truck. I'm riding around in my car. My mom has...
I can just imagine him.
Oh my God. My mom has come over. The whole neighborhood is looking for you guys. The cops have come. They've got pictures of you. Like they're calling a news crew, like everything.
Damn.
And I go by the house and I pick up the phone and it's beep, 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 beep. And I'm like, oh my God. So I dial in to get the message. And it's like, hello, Mr. and Mrs. blah, blah, blah. We have blah and blah here.
I don't recall that being your last name at the time.
You've had several last names. I don't know if that was one of them.
Right. This is security at the Jaguar Stadium. And I'm like, I didn't miss a beat. That little mother.
Keep them.
I called him back. I'm on the way.
So where? That's 6 miles away.
I called the guy back. I'm like, I'm on the way. The skinny one, you hold him for me.
The fat one's probably crying.
He did.
That's how I remember it going down.
The little one is crying, and I'm like, that's fine. I'll take care of that. But that skinny one, you hold him out for me. So John comes home. We get in the truck. We move Hayden over to the truck. We go downtown. Here comes Jason. Like the security guys are walking out. Jason, I mean, he's just a giant dirt smear from head to toe, right?
Except for the streaks coming from my nose and eyes. Like,
right.
Yeah.
Where he had been crying. His eyes are all swollen. He
definitely looked like any minute he was going to be like, yes.
And he legit had on no shoes, no shirt. Like, I'm like, oh my God, my baby, what have you done to him? He's crying, Mom, I didn't want to go. He made
it.
I'm like, it's okay. I'm like, get in the car. It's okay. Get in the car. It's okay. So then the security guy says something to the effect of, and this one here. And I was like, you can have him.
And when I heard that, I remember being like, oh, really? Are we doing this right now?
Those were my exact words. You can have him. And the security guy says, I don't think so. So then Matthew starts trying to explain to me. And I'm like, do not get in the truck. Don't open your mouth. I don't think Matthew and I spoke a word to each other for 2 days because I was so pissed.
Don't look at me for 62 hours.
Hey, it's better to be pissed off, though, than pissed on like that security guard.
Than pissed on, right.
And now we get along, right? Like the guy standing under the stadium. Yeah, now we get along great. In the words of the infamous Cody Rhodes, from undesirable become undeniable. I am a guest on the Monkeys Unfiltered.
Finally made it.
We made it.
We're back. We're so back.
We're so back. We're so back.
We're so back. I literally, I couldn't engage with you because I didn't want to like lose my cool. But I had so many emotions rushing through me. First of all, no one has kidnapped my kids. They're safe, right? That's gushing through me. Then, oh my God, somebody could have snatched my kids and killed them. That's rushing through me. Then I'm also rushing through all of what you said earlier about why did no one stop these kids at any given point and go, hey, do you need some help? Can we call your parents? So now I'm pissed off at society. you know,
That day made me further appreciate the show
Yeah.
Unsolved Mysteries.
it took me a good 48 hours before I could say, Matthew, do you want to tell me what was going through your head? His response to me was, what? It's not a
What's
big
the
deal.
problem? I just love the fact that you were like, oh my God, my
At the
kids are
time-
safe. But now they're about to not be.
One of them is gonna die because I knew it was his doing.
I want you to know that while we were doing all that, it didn't occur to me at all. I had no idea that this would be a problem. You know, I thought we would show back up and you would go, oh, hey, I was wondering where you were. Like, I don't know why I thought that,
No.
but I thought that. I really did. And so I apologize for making you worry because I didn't mean to do that.
Welcome home. Would you like a Pop-Tart and a juice box?
Exactly.
And now looking back, yeah, perfectly reasonable, right? Now looking back as an adult, I would have answered your question differently. Like, what'd you say? What, you want to tell me what you were doing? And I now would answer that question, hella gang shit.
Hood rat shit.
Hood rat.
Yup, hood rat
You know
shit.
what you weren't doing?
Anything I was supposed to be doing.
I mean, you
Facts.
were up to some mischief, but you probably weren't up to monkey mischief.
It's time.
Yep, it's that time, kiddos. It is time for monkey mischief. So if you joined us in social media this week, as you should be doing every week, you would know that at the
All day, every day.
You would know that at the beginning of the week, we post the opening of a dad joke, and then we invite you to join us on Wednesdays for the punchline. The time in between, we really encourage you to just drop your best guess in the comments, because we would love to just shout somebody out on air as getting the answer right.
I feel like I got a few,
Yeah,
didn't I?
probably.
Yeah, you don't count though.
If you join, I have lost all control of this show.
What do you asked me to come on? What did you think was going to happen?
Right? I know. I didn't sleep last night.
The ADD hour.
Anyhow, if you joined us in social media this week, you would have seen. Oh, wait, you wouldn't have seen.
Because I, eldest monkey, have stolen monkey mischief.
Oh my goodness. So yes, it is a rare occasion. Monkey mischief has been stolen.
You guys have asked me a couple of questions. I have a question for you. What kind of pants does Super Mario wear?
Denim.
There it is. I saw him raise his hand, and I was like, should I call on him, or is he just going to...
Well, no, I was like, I know that... oh, yeah.
Hayden, you finally get to participate in the show. If you think that you have a joke that is suitable for Monkey Mischief, please visit us at www.monkeysunfiltered.com. Scroll to the bottom of the page. There is a submission form there. If we voice your joke on air, you will get the most cool, badass, proud to own it. What? Sticker. A Monkeys Unfiltered sticker with lots of reverb.
I ran to my living room.
Oh, you ran?
Yeah, I'm a little out of breath.
Oh, okay.
It's hard to
Hayden,
move around
before
when
we-
you're fat.
I
Don't
saw
talk
you
to
run.
me for 30 seconds.
I like that we see each other.
So Hayden, before we wrap up the show, do you have some extra words you need to use up before we go?
Yeah, you got to hit your quota for this week,
I was going
dude.
to say my quota for the day.
Right.
It's just going to be a bunch of nonsense. 17, Blue, Pluto, Desmond, and Diamond.
Yeah, he's calling a play on the football
Hey.
field right now.
Solid.
Exactly. Nice.
Blue
Very
42,
cool.
hut.
What's the one? Omaha.
Omaha.
Yeah. Well, I thoroughly enjoyed having you on the show, Wayward Monkey. Thank you so much for making time to join us today. We know you have a very busy schedule, traveling all about, making all of the club-going kids look uber cool.
I enjoyed being on the show and would love to do it again in weeks or months or
So,
whatever.
you know what? Every guest that comes on our show says that. So, we have an awesome show. So, if you're listening, you need to like, subscribe, rate, tell all your friends. I mean, clearly we have an awesome show because all of our guests want to come back.
Rate it 5 stars on Yelp. Give it a tip on Uber. Whatever you got to do.
Yeah, never mind. All our
Yeah.
guests are friends and family.
And that's okay.
That's how it starts.
That's really all this is about anyways, right? Just us as a family having some fun
Hey,
together.
We're trying to be Adam Sandler, where we get famous and bring our friends and family along with us.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
So before we break out, Matthew, do you want to let people know where they can find you on social media and if you have a website for your stuff or?
So I don't have a website where you can buy pieces because I am lazy when it comes to the not make art part of things. Uh, I tried an Etsy store for a little bit. I kind of get lost in the shuffle over there. It didn't really go that great. But I do a lot of live events, so you can always catch me moving around the circuit. Um, Good bet is that I'm going to come through the goth club in your town at some point. But if you want to catch Instagram, I've got Second Skin Jax. And here I don't even have to do, I should say that's the word Second Skin, JAX. I don't even have to explain the other business because you go look at it yourselves. It's Jack's Naughty Night, same way JAX. Both of those are Instagrams. They both have Facebooks. And that's pretty much it. I don't do a whole lot of social media. I do, enough to stay on the radar. That's about it.
So just for those listeners, you can find him at Second Skin Jax, JAX, or at Jack's Naughty Night, both on Facebook and Instagram. Oh my God, you can find Monkeys Unfiltered all those places too.
What? I'm
Yeah,
gonna go like them right now.
you
I'm
should
gonna
do
like
that.
and follow right now. And if there's a way I can send a tip, tell me that. I'll do that too.
Okay, I'm about done with you guys because our producer is giving me like eyeballs because we're like way over on the limit. Thank you guys for being here today. I love you. Goodbye, friends.
Don't forget we're on YouTube.
On YouTube?
Bye.
Oh yeah, bye. See us on YouTube. Bye-bye. Perhaps you've heard tale. Hold on. Perhaps you've heard tale in the heart of the jungle, Mama Monkey and her shit. I'm distracted by your chewing. Sorry.
I'm almost done.
Stop fucking crunching.